This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Mask series with the hospitality leader, where I'm delighted to be joined with Wendy Bartlett from Bartlett Mitchell, the amazing business that is now part of WSH. So, Wendy, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Yes, I'm challenging myself to enjoy being sat at a PC most of the day.
That's exactly it. Hasn't the world changed? And yeah, very, very interesting start to the year. But before we talk about that, we've all just come out of, especially in the hospitality and supply chain of hospitality, an incredibly tough year. It's fair to say in 2020. For anyone in it and related to. From your perspective, care to summarise it?
I mean, there's been good and bad of it, obviously, as people say, but I think it's going to be more the before and after. And I think from the before, we've learned quite a lot. I think there's been a lot more gratitude. I think health has been taken much more seriously, probably above everything else. That's the thing that people value. And I think that people have embraced the changes that have demanded. And maybe from it, the silver lining is that people have really had to think out of the box. They've had to think differently. I think people have had to be more kinder. They've had to challenge more. So I think out of it that we've learned some new skills that will actually make us stronger for, the after, if you like. So there's lots to take from it.
There is a huge amount to take from it. I think the learning curve is something that we wouldn't necessarily have brought upon ourselves. But once thrust upon yourself, you have no choice other than to adapt and to learn and to improve, really, which I think hospitality has shown huge qualities.
Yeah, and I think that for people, you can choose your attitude, and mental health is a really massive thing that probably I think will have a knock-on effect much longer, especially when people start coming back to work. I think that there's lots that needs to be dealt with, and there's lots of challenges to go forward just with the changes that we've had. But what I am looking forward to the most is not actually being sat on the end of the phone listening about how they can't answer my call because of COVID, because working from home is so efficient and everyone loves it so much. No businesses can actually run now.
Exactly
so
that.
If those phone calls stop saying that, I will know that we're out of it.
That'll be definitely a telltale sign. I have to agree on the mental health side. I think it's huge shock to many humans in the hospitality industry, and just thoughts to everyone who have gone through that struggle, and as we all kind of work our way out of it. And talking of which, Wendy, how do you see the businesses in the B&I sector plan for the challenges and opportunities related to 2021?
Well, I think that we'd all be foolish not to be thinking that it changed and not planning for doing things differently. Ourselves have developed a new product called Mosaic, which is a much more adaptable product that a client can have without having to commit to 5 days a week. So I think you've got to come up. So that's great because we thought of new ideas and new ways of doing it. I think that although it's working from home in the office environment, or they find it, people much more being living at work. So I think people like that break. So I think it will continue, but people will return to the office. And I think it'll take a lot of time and effort, and catering will be fundamental in making sure that when people come back to an office environment, when they come back to socializing as teams, when new people are brought into that hub of the buildings, that will be a big part of making that successful. So I think that will be good. I think most people will look to have experiences, having had a year of not having it. So they'll want to do their catching up with friends and re-celebrate things they've missed and enjoy that. So I think in general, the hospitality industry will bounce back, be it differently, maybe not to the same level, but we are social animals at the end of the day. We enjoy all that we can do and we have the privilege of doing in the UK. So I think that definitely there'll be shifts, but overall I think the hospitality industry will be well placed, and it's a great place to build the economy from.
It's absolutely a great place. I read an article yesterday in terms of the spend that's been spent elsewhere in terms of the uplift within within the UK economy, and some of those figures were quite inspiring and optimistic. But at the same time, there's obviously a challenging edge to how it all comes back together. I love the fact that you operate hospitality within the B&I sector, which obviously people coming back to the office environment. I suppose it must be something to look forward to for your teams to be welcoming at the right time. Office workers back to their place of work.
Yeah, I think everybody is looking forward to getting back. They've been off, well, if you think by the end of February, most people would have been off for nearly a year of not having, gone back into restaurants or sites. Even if they've been to restaurants, it's been sort of fairly low or up and down numbers, hasn't it? But, that would be hard for people like chefs and waitresses who are used to doing 20, 30,000 steps a day, being on their feet for 10 hours, getting up at 5 to get into the restaurant, working late at night. So there will be a lot of, I think there'll be a bit of a struggle for some people for getting back into that rhythm. And even where we have gone back, just getting that energy and that pace back up is quite difficult, because I think everybody's changed pace. So, but they're all looking forward. If you're a chef, I know that the government thinks you should go off and be a lorry driver or whatever they said in their adverts. But if you're a chef, you're passionate about what you want to do, and you want to cook, and you want to make people happy. That's what we do.
So you're confident they'll be back?
Yes, I think so. I'm confident. I think so. I mean, what did everyone do as soon as the breakdown, get see your friends, go out to restaurants, start looking at holidays, it will come with time as people feel more confident. Now that will take time, but yeah. I've no doubt that level of service and that level of catering will be there. And you have to remember, within the last year, lots of people have come up with new ways of doing things and new ideas. So you've got that added on as a layer. So it's a much broader package now.
It definitely is. It's viewed in a very positively different way, in my humble opinion. Sticking on the people theme, Wendy, we know that there are a surplus of candidates on the market currently. It's quite an obvious thing. How, and do you think it's going to stay that way?
No, I think we've got, coming down the line, a big problem because of the Brexit, obviously, and not having the access to the Europeans. We're going to have a massive issue with finding people within our business, especially skilled people that are good at their job, because quite a few people, no doubt, will go off and drive for UBS or USP, or go off and work within a retail environment, or go and find new jobs in new areas, and we would have lost that talent. Those that are good and love the industry will stay, no doubt, find jobs much quicker. But we do have a massive amount of people holes to fill. If you take something like the government trying to kickstart the economy with apprenticeships and that sort of thing, then they already know that there's going to be a problem getting that younger generation to come through.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a challenge, but hospitality tends to be resilient and resourceful. So hopefully there's going to be that retraining for people from other industries and people coming through. And if anyone can do it, we can, right? I was talking about the collective.
The other thing is that hospitality in the last year, with UK Hospitality and Kate Nichols at the forefront, has put the hospitality industry at a higher level and to be listened to at government. That's why it's important for everybody to sign up to getting a hospitality minister, because we are one of the largest employers. We are the people as caterers that will reignite a little village with our little coffees and our pubs and our restaurants. So catering and hospitality is the secret to success of the economy. Therefore, we need to make sure that the government recognises that. So we've got in this year, so long may it continue. Let's not lose the momentum.
This is exactly why I invited you to this episode of Behind the Mask, Wendy. I think your energy is refreshing. Your positivity is inspiring in the current market. Sort of that driving force and support that you give is absolutely great. I think, I know you're a busy lady, so I really appreciate your time. This was always going to be short and sweet. I'll see you on the other side when we can actually meet up, and it'd be great to do so. Thank you so much for your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Bye for now.